Whatever rocks your socks, whatever spins your top, whatever winds your watch, whatever flips your flop, whatever turns you on, whatever flies your flag, whatever bangs your gong, or whatever swings your bag. Do it often, but do it well, 'cause nobody knows and there's no way to tell when the ride ends.
Good morning. Welcome to Wat Tasai, the temple on the beach. I'm going to try to lift the tripod here and show you what I'm seeing. It's a beautiful spot. Beautiful spot. We're in Pangao province, of course, Ampa Thai Muang, Turtle Beach. And this is our temple on the beach. It's a beautiful spot. One of the amazing things about this temple is that the Buddhas have no gold. The Buddhas in the Wihan, in the prayer center in the main building, they don't have any gold. Thais love to stick gold on stuff. Thais are very surface oriented. The appearances of things are important. So you stick a little gold on the surface of something, and that gives you merit. Here, it's all white marble imported from India, like 100 years ago. And it's all pristine. None of it's got any gold on it. I'll see if I can get in there. If there's nobody in there praying, I'll try to show you. So the topic for today, thank you for coming, by the way. I really appreciate your attention. Like, subscribe, share. My name's Steve Rosse, if it's your first time here. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the cost of retirement in Thailand. And I don't mean the dollars and cents. You know, it doesn't matter what you pay for your pickup truck or your 6-rai of rambutan in Isan or your solid teak house, because you don't own that, right? That belongs to some Thai person. And so it's neither here nor there. It's outside the equation. I want to talk about the real stuff you give up when you come here, like Mexican food. I know there are Mexican food restaurants on Phuket. It's 70 baht in 1 hour to get here from here to Phuket. I could have a Mexican meal, but it wouldn't taste like it tasted in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I used to have a Facebook page called Every Mexican Restaurant in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And every Saturday I'd go to a different Mexican restaurant and order the same meal, 3 tacos, beans, rice, and a Coca-Cola. And then I would, photograph this with the bill and show people what it cost and how good the food was place to place. There's a lot of Mexican restaurants in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I didn't get through, 10% of them before I left. But at any rate, Mexican food, that's a cost of retiring in Thailand. I've just not had it. A lot of other stuff. If I don't make it, I can't have a grilled cheese sandwich on Turtle Beach. I can't have pancakes on Turtle Beach. There's no place that makes it. I have given up pancakes to retire in Thailand. I gave up a job that mattered, a job I was good at. Medical transcription is no longer as important as it was, but the medical record is important. Computers do the transcription now. But the editing and the organizing and the archiving of the medical record, you may have a dozen different practitioners in modern medicine, and your cardiologist doesn't come to a meeting every morning and meet your podiatrist or your dentist to talk about Steve Rosse, right? The only way they talk to each other is through the record, through the medical record. So it's still an important job. And I gave that up. Now I've got 100 projects going on. I'm building a float for a parade. I'm making sets. I'm making videos. I'm collecting trash off the beach. I'm meeting my neighbors. I've got all of these things going on, but they're only important to me. If I don't work on the turtle today, nobody's going to care except me. And that's a cost. That's a price you pay. You give up something you've spent your life learning how to do that is appreciated by other people, that is important in the world, and you instead come to hang out on a beach all day and to eat and nap and read books and do all that stuff, which is great. It's absolutely wonderful. But it's not important to anybody except me. So that's something you give up. But the real cost, and I think probably any expat, any retiree in Thailand or anywhere else will tell you, what do you miss? I miss my family. I miss my mother. I miss my children. I miss my friends. I have friends I've had since high school. I miss them. If things go to plan, I'll never see them again. I intend to die here. I don't want to leave this place. I love it here. I'm very happy here. I dreamed for 25 years, and I know my regular viewers are sick of hearing me say this, but I dreamed for 25 years of coming here and retiring to a beach in Thailand, and I did it 15 months ago, and I ain't about to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm very happy here. That's great. That's a wonderful thing. That's a realization. Oh, there's ants. Makwan, you're supposed to protect me from ants. That's a great thing to have that thing that you've been working towards for 25 years. But you give up something. There's a price for that. And the price is seeing your mother, hearing your mother's voice, hearing your children's voice, hearing your friends' voice. I've got friends I've had since junior high. Mark and Amy, if you're watching, hi. And, the idea that I won't ever be in a room again with these people. That's a price. I love my new friends. I love making new friends here. Well, I don't really like making new friends. I like meeting new people, but I like my alone time. And becoming a retiree in Thailand or anywhere else, I suppose, is very isolating. You can end up alone in a room watching YouTube all day long if you're not careful, wherever you retire. Whether you retire in Iowa City or Turtle Beach, you can, if you're not careful, end up being alone all the time. And that's risky. That's both mentally and physically, being alone, particularly in old age. It's not good for you. So I pay Chamnan 200 baht a day, basically just to come over twice a day and check on me. He does, he washes, he cleans, he does the laundry, he does the dishes. I let him do the dishes, basically. I love doing dishes, but I let him do the dishes to have something to do. He does brickwork, he does plumbing, he does painting. Sometimes I need that done. But basically, I just pay the guy to come over and check on me and make sure I'm still alive, that I haven't fallen down and broken a hip. And that, paying somebody to come and check on you, that's a price, that's a cost, right, of retirement. But if you don't pay that price, you end up very, very isolated. As I have said, I'm an only child of a single parent. I grew up alone. I've spent a lot of time in rooms alone talking to myself. I'm very happy doing that. If I didn't have the camera on, I'd still be speaking. I would still be talking. If there was no audience, I still talk. I just do it. It's like white noise. It keeps me awake. So that isolation is a cost, and I think it's a cost a lot of people don't consider, and that's why you see a lot of retirees living with Thai people they have nothing in common with. They don't share a language, they can't really have a conversation, but they live together because she needs the money and he needs the company. He doesn't want to be alone. Look at that sun coming up behind Makwan. So isolation is a cost, and it's a more important cost. It's a more expensive cost than whatever you pay for your accommodation, for your food, for your travel, for your clothes, for your beer, your gambling, whatever it is you do, your golf. The isolation, the separation from family and friends, that is the real cost of your retirement. I have to scooch over, put myself between the foo dogs, male and female, right? Always a pair. I need to block the light. It's making weird flares on the camera. Listen, let me tell you a story. I want to tell you a couple stories. The first one of the other things I've given up is medical insurance. Shh, it's a big secret. Don't tell anybody. Steve doesn't have medical insurance. I did a lot of, I used to have Blue Cross, which is the best Blue Cross Federal yet. The best health insurance in America. Also very expensive, but my employer paid half. And I was required by the court to keep insurance for my children. So I got the family plan. Basically, why I worked the last 8 years of my working life was for the health insurance. And before I left, I got as much done as I could. I got the last of my molars extracted, had a bunch of skin tags and warts removed. I had my prostate enucleated. I had the toe fungus taken care of. I got done everything I could think of before I left because I knew 15 months ago I'd be giving up my health insurance. So once a month, you may know this if you're a regular viewer, once a month, I live on $1,500 US Social Security. That's $50,000 baht a month. I live very well, very happy. I have everything I need for $50,000 baht a month, but nothing more than that. So once a month, I go, when the check comes, I go down to Phuket, and for 3 days, I play the weekend millionaire. I go shopping. I can't buy clothes that fit me up here. I need heart medication. They don't sell up here. And every now and then, I like company. I like sharing a room with a young woman. So for 3 days, there's a young woman I call when I go down there, and she comes and spends 3 days with me in a nice hotel. And we're both very happy. Much of the time, I read a book and she looks at her phone. But we're very happy doing that in a room together. And I enjoy this time very much, these 3 days. And for the other 27 days a month, there's somebody who sends me every couple days a little love note. Darling, have you eaten yet? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Yada, yada, yada. I miss you. Kitang tirak, you know. And it's nice to have this kind of pen pal. I live, like I said, in isolation. So it's nice, just every now and then the phone goes ba-ding, and there's a little note there from somebody. And yeah, I'm paying for that, and I don't mind paying for that. But at any rate, one of the other things I don't have here on Turtle Beach is a full-length mirror. I have a little shaving mirror, and that's all I have in my bathroom. I've been losing weight since I got here. I've lost 15 pounds in 15 months. I've toned up. I ride the bicycle every day. I curl dumbbells every day. I've toned up, I've lost weight. I'm very happy about that, but I can't see the results except once a month. I go to the same hotel and they've got a mirror over the sink in the bathroom, and I come out of the shower and I get to see my body from, like, you know, the thighs up. And that's very pleasant. I get to see this transformation once a month, like a time lapse. So I go down last time about 10 days a week ago and take my shower, and I call the young lady, and I'm here, come on over, and I'm waiting, and I take the shower. I step out of the shower, I look in the mirror. I got this big bulge in my groin, not the good bulge. I got an inguinal hernia. I know what that is. I've transcribed inguinal hernia mesh repair 100 times. I know what that is. I've developed an inguinal hernia. Don't know how long it's been there. They don't hurt until they get incarcerated, until the loop of bowel gets cut off and ischemic. They don't hurt. Then they hurt like hell. The only solution for this is surgery. Online, it says the Phuket Bangkok Hospital for an open is 50,000 baht. For a laparoscopic is 100,000 baht. 50,000 baht, that's a month of living expenses. That's a lot of money. I would have to stop going to Phuket and playing the weekend millionaire for a matter of weeks, several. Yeah, for a matter of months. Several, to afford that. It's only going to get bigger. They don't heal. This is not something that heals itself. So that's something to think about. That's a cost, right? That's a price. Listen, I want to tell you one more health-related topic and one more health-related story. I worked at the University of Iowa for 15 years in the hospital. I knew all the surgeons. I worked in general surgery. Knew all the surgeons. At that time, general surgery included trauma, plastic, vascular, and transplant. So I was familiar with the surgeons that did all that work. And one day, I had been invited by a professor at the College of Journalism to come and speak to graduate students about being a journalist abroad, international journalism. And boy, I was flattered, because those students didn't know I was just a medical transcriptionist. They knew that for 7 years I'd been a journalist in Thailand and very successful at it. Sold over 250 articles to magazines and newspapers all up and down the Pacific Rim, from Christchurch to Honolulu. I was the king of the in-flight magazines. And they wanted to hear about that. These young people wanted to hear my opinions and my stories. So during the day, I'm sitting at work. It was an evening class, 7 o'clock. I was supposed to teach or lecture to, or just tell my stories. And all day long, I had this belly pain, I had this stomach pain, but I was ignoring it because I had this great, it was very rare anybody wanted to hear my opinion. It's very rare a medical transcriptionist gets invited to lecture at a lecture hall. So, by God, I was going to go, and the pain was exquisite. By the time that class met at 7 o'clock, I was doubled over in pain. But by God, I was going to talk to these kids. And I did for 90 minutes. I fascinated them. I told them all my best stories. They're journalism students at the University of Iowa. Stories about being a journalist in Thailand were really exciting to them. I was getting attention. I was in severe agony, terrible pain, but by God, I didn't leave. At 9, when it was over, I went right to the ER, and by midnight they had me in the emergency room. They decided my appendix had burst inside me, which it had, and thus the pain, and they better cut that thing out. So they called Peter Jochimson. He was on call. Peter Jochimson was the head of general surgery. The head of a department doesn't like being called into the OR at midnight. Doesn't like that at all. So he came in, he was a little pissed off. And they got me prepped and draped on the table, shaved and prepped and draped. And I'm laying there looking at the ceiling and this doc, and I can recognize him. It's Jochimson, and he comes, and he doesn't recognize me. And he says, it says here, Mr. Rosse, you work in medicine, you work in healthcare. Do I need to explain to you what we're about to do? Now, I had typed his open appendectomy probably 50 times. And I said, no, the patient was prepped and draped in the usual sterile standard fashion. An incision was begun halfway between the umbilicus and McBurney's point and extended down through the fascia, blah, 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 blah. I'm giving him the preamble to his open appendectomy. And without a word, he's looking down at me. And it's about 1 in the morning now, 12:30, 1 in the morning. And I'm going on and on and on in his voice. And he just takes the cup, he takes the mask, and poop, puts it over my face to shut me up. And he took out my appendix. That's all I want to tell you. That's all I want to tell you. 17 minutes, that's a very long monologue this week. I like this place. It makes me chatty. I feel good here. If you ever get a chance, come visit Wat Tasai. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for your attention. This is the best time of my week. I really love doing this, and I really, really love having you here. And I love you guys a lot. Mom, Andy, Mandy, Mark, Amy, the Kaplans, everybody. Everybody I've never met. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with me. You have a terrific week. I'll see you next Friday. So this is the interior of Wat Tasai. I think it's just lovely. It's a very small temple. It's all wood. I would assume teak. I don't know if that's a fact, but I do know that all of these marble effigies came from India, and there is not a speck of gold on them. All white marble, not a speck of gold anywhere on this shrine, which is very unusual in Thailand. But at any rate, that's Wat Tasai. I just wanted to give you a look. Satu, Satu, Satu. Kotot
ใช่
Wah, wah.
ปิดอีกระวังมือ
It's beautiful plywood. It's a shame to use it for this, but it's all they had. They didn't have construction grade plywood, just this beautiful paneling.
แน่นอน
well.
เปล่าอย่าติดผ้าเอาวัวไปเอาวัวไปหน้าบ้าน
The first move.
เดินขึ้นไปเลยดิ
Uh-huh.
เดินขึ้นไปบนเลยให้เข้ากันนะเอาผมกดได้
Hmm.
เป็นวิทย์แต่ไปตัวเองแต่ไปตัวเอง
I like it. I think I'll keep it. So Kun Chamnan is adding the last tiles on the back of the turtle's head. He's got to cut these to fit each one of these little gaps. Gang dang.
ยัง
This piece of wood is cut the dimension of the bed of the pickup truck. So this will ride on the back of a pickup truck. I will decorate this area with ropes off the beach to represent the beach and white net floats to be eggs. Because this is, of course, a female turtle. Male turtles never leave the water. These are some of her eggs here, and there are more in this pile that I will get to. And these will be a little pile of eggs behind my female turtle. And this is the next Boontong set. This is a Nitnoy shop. There will be a big Chinese shrine back here to the 9 emperor gods. There will be tables out here. There will be a shopkeeper. There will be a facade of a Chinese shop house with a gate that closes, and a sidewalk and street. Now, unfortunately, what I've discovered is on the tables this way, I can't really get in here to work. Everything's too far away. So I'm going to have to slide this whole thing down to the edge of the table and then figure out something else like these little tables in order to put the street and the sidewalk in front of it. But while it's under construction, I have to be able to get into the back of it, and I can't as long as it's set back 2 feet from the edge of the table. So that's it. That's the work this week on Boontongs and on the still as yet nameless turtle. He loves this project.
Whatever shaves your sheep, whatever bakes your lamb, whatever digs your peak, whatever smokes your ham, whatever blows your nose, whatever chews your bone, whatever squirts your hose, whatever sings your song. Do it often, but do it well. Nobody knows and there's no way to tell. When you're riding, shoot